Good Monday morning. Do you know that there is a battle for your prayers? I mean, why wouldn't there be? If you think about it, prayers are earth-shattering, life-altering, grave unearthing, body resurrecting, heaven moving. Those are the things that prayers can accomplish. In the book of Daniel, there's a story where Daniel has prayed a prayer, and then the angel comes to him and tells him that from the moment your prayer was prayed, we moved into action. But there was a prince of Persia that we battled and held up your prayer for 21 days. So Derek Prince says it like this. He said, prayer is becoming entwined in a spiritual battle where angels and demons are involved. And I don't think we really take into account the fact that our prayers are involving a spirit realm. That's why it's so important, as we've talked about so many times, and I'll say again, we're spirit beings living in a natural world. So why should it surprise us that when we pray spirit prayers that we're involving angels and demons are being activated inside of those prayers? They are. That's why the enemy tries to keep us from praying so often. And I love Psalm 18. It is one of my favorite Psalms because it gives us this actual picture of what happens when we pray. It says, at the sound of your cry, I moved. And so you see the God of the heaven and earth moving at the very sound and mention of a cry. And then it tells you all of these battle things that he begins to do. Seriously, if you've never read Psalm 18, you need to go read Psalm 18. And it's going to give you a picture of what a prayer does that I think will fundamentally change how you pray. That is why we are told in the armor of God in Ephesians 6:18, pray at all times with all kinds of prayers and requests. You and I have the privilege now, and I shared this before, you and I have the privilege to do in our car what only priests could do one time a year inside of a tent of meeting where the Ark of the Covenant dwelled, and there was a rope tied to their ankle in case they got too close to the presence of God because they were going to fall dead and they could just be pulled out. You and I get to do that in our car, in our kitchen, laying in our bed at night, in our family room, it's sitting in the doctor's office. We have the privilege of praying about anything at any time, and we access the very presence of God. So why would we not think the enemy would try to keep us from praying? So what prayer are you not praying that you need to pray? And let me tell you this, there is no prayer too small. Because God says, I care about every detail of your life. The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. He delights in every detail of their life. The New Living Translation says. He cares about the smallest detail. I've prayed and asked God to let one of my dogs live until he had a family for me. And 2 weeks after I married Philly, Jesus took my dog to doggy heaven. Now, when I know that he cares about that smallest detail of my heart, don't you think I can trust him with the big things? The enemy will try not just to thwart the prayers that you are praying, but he will also try to prevent you from ever praying the prayers in the first place. So, pray. Pray about the smallest thing and pray about the biggest thing. Pray in your car, pray in your shower, pray in the carpool line, pray when you're making spaghetti. Pray at all times. With prayers of thanksgiving, with prayers of gratitude, with prayers of petition, with prayers of intercession. And that Psalm 18 God and that Daniel God is going to move at the sound of your cry. Let me tell you this, you can't afford to not pray the prayer. I don't want to get to heaven and God say, well, might look like this if you'd prayed that. I don't want to get there and hear him say that. You don't either. So pray the prayer today on Monday morning. Because you can. And because it moves the very heart of God. If your heart was encouraged today, please know that we have many other resources available for you. You can discover all of those at reclaiminghearts.org.